I am a realtor here in South Florida, basically the most competitive market in the entire country. And I have been successful with circle prospecting. I've tried so many different avenues, whether it was paid, whether it was ISAs, or even social media. But at this point in time, I just decided to focus on what works for me. And that is through circle prospecting, where I call everyone. There is no specific list I call aside from just the entire neighborhood. I already started off my mojo, but I did want to give a shout out. Hey, Rosie. I did want to give a shout out to, I believe it's Kristen. She had asked me in our Facebook group about my data, and I thought, oh, this is a very good question. I can't really say it all in one paragraph, and I figured, let me just show it to everyone. So shout out to Kristen Nagy. I know she's, or Nagy, I'm not sure. I apologize for the mispronunciation. But I will share my Mojo screen and just kind of show you. It was more specific to the challenge, like, hey, Adela, how many leads have you gotten since the challenge started? So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. For example, all of 2024, I ended up generating 100 leads in the entire year. And I really slumped. Like, I started off really amazing for 2025. So these are my numbers. And this is kind of like the baseline I decided for January. Like, let me focus how hard I can go at calling and being consistent. So I decided, okay, 40 hours is going to be my baseline, even though I did 42 hours, almost 43 that month. And I figured I'm going to do 5,000 calls, 350 contacts, 25 leads. And technically my appointment set of how many I want to set in a month is 6. But that month I did 7. Because I am circle prospecting, I have a higher like set to met percentage as well as listing taken. So doing 6 for circle prospecting is totally fine. So that was January. And then February, mind you, I started my challenge April 1st, but I'll show you why. So February, I actually did almost 31 hours of calling time. I only did 3,357 calls. I had almost 300 contacts, but not quite. I was fine with the fact that I had 21 leads and 6 appointments set. So hence why I wasn't too harsh on myself, because I was like, well, my leads were really high. Even though my dial time was low, my calls were low, my contacts were low, I still hit 6 appointments because I was super busy. But then came March, which of course I was busy taking listings and listing them and everything. I only ended up doing almost 21 hours of dial time, only about 2,800 calls. Here it just dropped by like 100. I only had 196 contacts. Thankfully, I still got to 19 leads, but I had 0 appointments set. And honestly, I'm not even sure if that's correct. I might have 1 or 2, but totally forgot to mark it. But it's irrelevant at this point. So for April, I decided this is phony baloney. I need to get back on the bandwagon, just like January, and really start calling. So to answer Kristen's question about the challenge, I started it April 1st. So I went really hard, calling every single day, and I called for 47 hours, a little over 47 hours, almost 5,000 calls. I did 427 conversations, which is more than before. But yeah, I didn't hit my 25 leads, but I did hit 20. And then I set 5 appointments last month. And as far as year to date, if you include May, including today, 16 leads. So technically I have 36 leads since April 1st. I was just writing a comment. I ran my numbers for the last 30 days. I did miss 4 days, Monday through Friday. I have 9 hand raisers, 26 welcome to receiving my card. So it's coming along. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So you actually called for the last 30 days and missed 4. Girl, that's 26 days. Do you know how amazing that is compared to most realtors in general who want to cold call or say they're going to cold call or try? 26, and you got your hands full, and so do I. So that's amazing. Oh my gosh, you try to do 2 hours a day. That is so beautiful. You're really gonna like pick up some momentum with that. That's all you need, just 2 hours a day. 10 to 12, like you said, 10 to 12. That's how I started, just like 2 hours. 10 to 12. And then it like, of course, could schedule or like, field trips or whatever it is. Then I'd have to like move it, and then 2 to 4. And then I was like, oh, maybe I can do 4 to 6. So yeah, I totally get it, but that's fantastic. You're going to do great with it. As long as you stay consistent, just do your 2 hours prospecting. The other time I'm doing follow-ups. I don't spend crazy amount of time doing follow-ups, because if you notice, like, let's pretend you're 9 hand raisers, right? Like, you only have to follow up with those 9. Over time, of course, it's going to add up, but it's not like you have to call thousands of people to see who wants to list with you. You only have to like nurture and take care of those few, which makes your job a lot easier. Sorry, let me get back to this. So 9 hand raisers, 26 welcome to receiving my card. I like that. I don't always send my card, but if they're like, yeah, send me your card, or sometimes you just have a connection. But why not? Like, just spread the word. It's like the least expensive thing that I've found. And it's so memorable. And that's what they tell me. Like, even a year later, they're like, I saved your card. I remember, I promised you I would call you, or I passed it to my friend or whatever. Okay, so we got that one. Fingers crossed. Now I need the courage to follow up. You'll do fine. You'll do fine. I'm so not pushy, and I'm like the friendly version of a realtor, I would say, compared to like the aggressive ones. So I want to say like a lot of the follow-up is just really very passive. So you don't necessarily have to be so afraid as far as like follow-up, because all you're really doing, and what I do, if you happen to have the follow-up process that I sell, is just leaving breadcrumbs, so that way they're like, oh my God, Kristen is so amazing. She like informs me about what's going on, and she's done this, and she's called me, and she's always follows up with me and stuff like that. So you're going to do fine. Eddie, another daytime session. Yes, I got other stuff going on again this evening. This is better for me. And if anyone is asking, oh, good. Awesome. So wait, are you calling too then? Are you on the dialer? If so, let me know. Oh, solely landlines. Interesting. Okay. I love it, because is that why you're sending them your handwritten note cards instead of like being able to text them? I guess you would have to come up with like getting their emails as a strategy if they wanted your emails. But if you also have a landline, I'm assuming you can still get permission to just like, you don't have to get permission per se, or I don't know the Canadian rules, but I have older people who I only follow up with that have landlines, and I'll call them and I'll leave them a message on their answering machine, and they'll still get it. And they've responded like, oh, I got your voicemail on my answer machine. I'm so sorry I didn't call you. And I will follow up with them, even handwritten note card. So I will not let like not having a cell phone or not having an email prevent me from following up in a different format. I will just implement whatever my follow-up is to their format, which is hence why it's more personable, more intentional, and I'm not forcing people into an automation. So that's also why, like, follow-ups, you have a few people and you intentionally follow up with them, and they, believe it or not, they notice. They will notice, Kristen. So you are going to do great. I already did. Not doing that one. I already did my 2 hours. Woohoo! Yay! Love it. Wait, if you're in Canada, where in Canada? Are you East Coast also? Or are you like, I guess, isn't it most are...
Well, it's a voicemail. The person you're trying
but don't most Canadians live like either on the East or on the West? No, not so much like in the middle. I used to actually, when I sold cruises, I used to sell to so many Canadians. The furthest was Nova Scotia, which was... way out there. They were like an hour even further east out into the ocean or something. Hey, Matt, howdy. Hit my weekly goal this morning of 12 hours. So I'm off to work on my boat. Wait, what? Hit my weekly goal this morning of 12 hours. Wow, for the week? That's awesome, Matt. That is amazing. Good job. So I'm off to work on my boat. Awesome. Awesome. Wow. A boat, huh? I've always wanted a boat. We'll get a boat one day. We'll see. We shall see. I mean, we're in the yachting capital of the world. Everybody has a boat here. Yes, because they are older. Oh, there you go. And that's fine. I think when they have a landline and they just want to talk to you through their landline and you do your follow-ups that way, they love it. They love the landline. And then they're like, oh, Kristen called me. Niagara Falls, north of Buffalo. Oh, okay, perfect. Perfect. So you're just north. Love it. Yeah, so we're in the same time zone. So you did just finish. You did your 10 to 12 session. And I have to say, isn't it so rewarding? Like, even as a mother, where you're like, I'm just going to carve out.
Has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
I'm just going to carve out my 2 hours, 10 to 12, and I did my job, and then I can focus on my family, which is exactly why I started circle prospecting, because I wasn't going to be getting up to role play. I remember having to do those whole like role play. I don't know if you've done role play, but everyone's like, you got to role play. You got to get up at 7 in the morning and role play and hit the phones by 7:30. I'm like, that doesn't work for a mother, for a parent with children. Like, no. I think the best practice I've really gotten as far as like learning to be better on the phone is just doing it. I know that may be a little bit difficult for some people. I did get the dashboard. Thank you. You're doing great. Oh, thanks. Okay, I'm glad because that was specific for you. I know I promised you I was going to go over that. I appreciate the skill it takes to do YouTube and cold call at the same time. Thanks. Your videos gave me the courage to hang up on people. Yes. Oh my God, that is a huge win for me for you saying that, because that was the hardest, what I would say one of the hardest things I had to realize, because I came from a call center background. Well, I mean, I've been in so anyway, so yes, I'm so glad you said that, because so many times I'm like, it's okay, just hang up, just hang up. Like if I'm not feeling it, somebody's being rude, like just hang up. Because when I came from corporate America, they were like, no, you're not allowed to be hanging up on our customers or our clients or whatever, because it was like their image. So I had to take like verbal abuse per their policy, which just really it was just terrible. And of course, like I would stand on my own, like, I wouldn't let them really get to me. And then when I switched over to cold calling for my own business, I was kind of stuck on that pattern of like overcoming the objection and, being cordial and this, that, whatever. And then finally, once I like got so burnt with FSBOs and expireds, I was like, you know what, screw this. And then especially once I switched to circle prospect, I'm like, excuse me, but you're obviously not being called like crazy, like a FSBO or an expired. So what gives you the right, just because I call you out of the blue, you're going to treat me like crap? Well, you know what? I'm not putting up with it, because obviously you're mad about something else that has nothing to do with me, and you're just taking it out on me. And that's when I was like, absolutely no. So I just started hanging up on people. So I'm so happy you said that. And I hope most people realize, like, you're the one making the call. You're the one who can decide to hang up on people. Just because we call them does not mean they have the right to treat us like crap. So I am so happy, Kristen, that you said that. Thank you. And I hope most other people realize. I feel bad for those young 20-year-olds. And I say this because they've called me, and I know that, like, I just know so many investors who've been calling, and they're on their 20s, and they're all working for like some
has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
And they're all working for like a 45-year-old guy or something who owns a company, and they just like pluck him right out of college or right out of high school, and they force him to make these calls, and they just take verbal abuse over the phone from these homeowners. And I'm so glad I can just do it.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Ramirez Fitness. What is your daily contact goal? I have a 2-hour session goal, 2 hours, calling for 2 hours. I'm doing a 90-day challenge, which if you just joined, go watch the replay. The first 5 minutes, I broke down what my calls were for the month of January, February, March. And then because I was slipping, I forced myself into a 90-day challenge by myself. So April 1st, I started
You are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
And then you can see, I showed you what my numbers are for April. And then I also show you my numbers starting April 1st to today, May 23rd. And after how many months did you begin to see results with circle prospecting? I'm in between targeting downsizers, absentee, and just calling neighborhoods. I just call neighborhoods now. I used to pay a third-party provider for absentee owner lists. I used to pay somebody for probate. I used to pay for FSBOs. I used to pay for expireds.
Forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach.
And then who else? I feel like there was one more lead source. Oh, I tried FSBO. That didn't work so well either. I tried FSBO.
And forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying.
Sorry, I'm like, I feel winded. I've tried FSBO, expired, canceled, FSBO, absentee owner, and probate. Those are the main ones that I tried. Circle prospecting, I was like, this is my last resort. It was like my last Hail Mary. Once I started just calling neighborhoods, like I'm not even talking about just sold, just listed, pending, none of that. I'm talking about just take the whole neighborhood and just call them all. I, from experience, started tripping, falling, bumping into expireds, FSBOs, absentee owners, pre-foreclosure, probate, divorced, all these lead sources. And then I realized maybe instead of actually targeting a specific, I will just call everyone because everybody has a reason to move. Oh, even downsizers. I come across downsizers. Do you know how many times I talk to a family and they're like, oh, my son's going off to college. And so my wife and I are thinking about just buying a condo and selling the house instead, downsizing. And then I realized I'm in South Florida. This is a transient market. Why the hell am I paying for absentee owners when I can just call everyone? I'm gonna bump and trip and fall over on like absentee owners left and right. So many people are transient here. I was like, this is so silly to just like call that specific target list. And when I start calling these neighborhoods, like this guy, oh, I get so many calls. When you speak to 1,000 people in a neighborhood, you will be educated on what is going on in that neighborhood, whether it's a building, because I have called condo buildings, but not like just.
Please leave your message for.
I don't call a building at a time. If there's like 30 condo buildings, like I call that whole area. And each person starts telling me what's going on in each of the buildings. And I start educating myself in each of the buildings because I'm having those conversations with each of the homeowners in each of the buildings. And it's amazing. So circle prospecting, honestly, just calling everyone and anyone has been the best thing for me. And I know people will argue, that's fine, argue. All I can say is I do what I do and it's working for me. So I just stopped like limiting myself, because if I have 24,000 people in my database and I have to call them all once, it's going to take me years to call everyone. So I'm coming more from an abundant mindset. And as Myron Golden says, I'm not giving off commission breath either. That's an interesting comment. 1,000. Just hung up on that. No, I'm like, hello. I'm not doing that. Ramirez question. Okay, what is your population in your city? I have 100,000 supposedly. I think it's more than that, but they say we have 100,000 according to like 2024 census data or something. But I don't even know if that really counts the snowbirds. I feel like we're probably 200,000. But I actually just downloaded 24,000 people for my city, not the whole city, but a portion of the city. So yeah, when you take a market, like a neighborhood, each of the little neighborhoods is like 1,000. And if I do like a neighborhood and there's like condo buildings, that could easily be like 3,000. Yeah, let me know what market you're in, because now I'm curious. And then I know Nancy
Been forwarded to voicemail. The
who
person
also
you're trying to-
watches, and Sergio, they did the same thing. You go into Mojo, you go into neighborhood search, and you can pull like 50,000, 70,000. So it just really depends how many people are in your area. Oh, I see your comment, Ramirez. Hold on, let me see. Top tier billionaire. Nice to meet you. Damn, I used to this back in the days. I used to cold call on Radex with $2 running at once. Talk to so many people, right? So Mojo's acting out right now. Typically, I love the double line dialer, but for the last like 3 days, Mojo's been a little wonky.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
So, I'm on the single line dialer on Mojo because I like to switch it up. Single, double, triple, double, single, whatever, and just like bounce around. So the cell phone companies don't like think I'm a robot or AI and then like mark you like spam. So I'm on single line dialer. It's been 37 minutes. I'm at 5 contacts. I want to say minimum worst is 7 in an hour. But there's been some days where I get 21 contacts in an hour and a half. Ramirez said Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, pretty big tourist place. So question is, what's your population? Because if I go...
Has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone,
Lake of Ozarks.
thank you for calling.
Population. Wait. It says 92,000? But then it says 2,000. The Lake of Ozarks market region, which includes Camden, Miller, and Morgan counties,
Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're
has a population of 89,000. I'm a little bit confused. You would know best. Because it says you only have 2,000 in your market. You're going to need a much bigger. I mean, I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Obviously not Miami. Miami's even bigger, but I know some people that are a bit more in a rural area, and so they just like do their county, where their county has like 100,000, but their county is like 20 minutes that way, 20 minutes this way. It's really not that big of a county. Yeah, I used to triple line, but that was before the new TCPA laws. I went from residential to commercial real estate. Transferred my clients from CRE to asset management founder. Ooh, very, very interesting. You know what? So there was this Toronto commercial real estate retired guy, and he did really, really well, obviously. And I was door knocking. His wife opened the door, and they were like, "Oh my God, we actually are selling, but we just signed with a listing or with an agent, the listing agreement." And they were really nice. The husband, he said,
forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
He said, "Do you want to know the secret on how to be super successful in real estate?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Call the yellow pages." I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "Call everybody in the yellow pages." He goes, "That's how I did it." I'm like, "Oh, but it may be different now." And this was years ago when I was just starting to dabble my feet into cold calling. And at that time I was focused on like FSBOs and expires. But the reason I was door knocking was to avoid the phones because I was getting yelled at in the morning. And then in the afternoon I would go door knock. And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And he said, "Do you know so-and-so?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "That's what he does." I was like, "What?" He goes, "That's why he's successful. I'm his client and he does exactly what I told him." So that's when I was like, wow, I just didn't know how to do circle prospecting necessarily, but I'll never forget. So whenever I think about commercial, oh, she said she actually is thinking about it. It's so funny because sometimes when they're like, "Why do you ask?" It's like, dude, nobody told me you're selling. But anyway, she was like, "Oh, no, but we actually do already have a friend who's a realtor we're going to use." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Next, ain't nobody in the Ozarks. Move out of there, bro. Big money is in the big.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
That is so funny. And yeah, well, you just have to have a population, I guess, or unless you just like really focus on that area and just cold call everybody, you could really like carve out a piece of the market for yourself.
Been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Oh, I was totally forgetting my thought process. I was just going to say, I've heard commercial real estate, you guys have to cold call more than ever. I don't know. Oh shit. I don't know if that's the same with you. I used to have fun over the phone. If I came across somebody pissed, I would just toy with them. Then I got into trouble, LOL. Reached out to my broker. We laughed about it. That's so funny. I would, yeah, I definitely don't toy around with people. I just have like a, what do you call it? Like not a low tolerance, but in my opinion, I'm like, I don't have time for this. I have so many more people I need to talk to. I don't have time for nonsense. So then I just hang up on them. But I would ask, is it true for commercial real estate? Like you guys cold call way more than residential. I've done a ton of sales training. That sounds like 7th level. Am I correct? I don't know what that is. Help me out. What's 7th level? I gotta Google it. I have not done a lot of training. I've done sales for 20 years. Oh, is that Jeremy Minor? Ah, thank you.
Please leave your message.
Thank you guys. I did not know that was the name of his program. All I know is like the black book, which somebody emailed to me, and I like skimmed through it and I was like, meh. It was like an ebook, I guess. It was like so long and I was like going through it. I'm like, this doesn't look good for me. So no, I have not done his stuff, but I do like him. I don't apply a lot of what he says. I'm just like swipe, swipe, swipe. But then sometimes he says something really good and I save it. Because I do listen to Daniel Priestley, Myron Golden, Jeremy Minor, Ben Jiang, Benjamin Dennehy, Brennan Kane, Sam Parr. Sam Parr's amazing. What an amazing brain he has. Russell Brunson. So it's a whole mixed bag. Hey, David. Hi, Adela. I registered on DNC registry. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I don't even think I've done any of that. I registered on DNC registry, free caller registry, First Orion, TNS, and report a robocall so my number won't be marked as spam. Oh my God, David, you went above and beyond. And now I got to write these because I've never done these. I've just done free caller registry. Okay. And I'm going to take a picture. Here, my phone's right in front of me. I'm going to take a picture. Yes, everybody take a picture. I'm going to leave this here for a minute and then I'll get back to your comments. Everybody take a picture. Thank you, David, for sharing, because that I did not even know. I'm going to have to do that as well, just to make sure my numbers always stay away from spam. Yes, I had to make a ton of cold calls and LinkedIn introductions through DMs. Yeah, but let me ask you, but are you still doing that now though? Like you're in commercial to this day and do you still cold call? If so, amazing. I bet you're killing it in commercial. It's like another industry. The black book, LOL. Yeah, I think that is what it was called, right? I'm not making that up. Yeah, okay, so it is the black book, is meh if you don't have context on the psychology. Yeah, I would say I've been leveling up my skills in terms of like tonality, pausing.
Hi, this is Annalisa.
Which is apparently called cadence. I've been studying like all about body language. I've been learning about like how to phrase things, how to say things, how to pre-frame things, like pre-framing to meetings. Mark?
Please leave your message for 9.
So yeah, it sounds like you're super experienced, top tier billionaire. Sounds like you definitely know. Eddie said, LOL, I took a screenshot of David's list too, although I'm pretty sure this is what whitelisting is, and our lead providers probably do that. Well, hopefully they do that. I don't know if they do. Well, it was a pleasure, Adela. You gave me some reminiscing memories of the brutal days. Ha ha ha. Now back to work. See ya. Okay, bye. Oh, maybe you don't do cold calls anymore. Well, sorry. Okay, bye.
Has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Oh, subscription account number. Subscription account number. Okay, I'm learning. Yay, you're so welcome. I am itching to get started. You should. Oh, Haya. Wait, Haya. Haya. I must be confusing Haya with that one product Sam Ovens created and then sold to some other guy that gives you background on running ads. Hyros. I was thinking Hyros. Never mind, not Haya. Okay, I wrote it down. Haya. Forgive me for my chicken scratch, but this is what David said. Oh, and do not free caller registry. So these are all the ones. Ugh, gotta clean this up. That's a G. As this is an N. Sorry, I'm fixing my handwriting for you guys. These are all the ones that David mentioned as far as registering your phone numbers to make sure that they don't get marked as spam. So I will definitely be doing this one. Thank you, David. Love, love, love that you're sharing. And if you're not already in the Facebook group, guys, or in the league, feel free to join. David, if you aren't in the Facebook, make sure to add everybody else. Feel free. I'll prove you in. But I was going to say, even a post like that is great to share in the group. Like, hey, here's a list of places you guys can register your phone numbers or something.